Welcome back to our Baoding City Tour. We have just turned west from the north-south oriented Changcheng Avenue and entered the east-west oriented Fuxing Road. At the end of the last video, we similarly talked about some phenomena regarding local real estate. Let us continue. We will still talk about whatever we see and speak about whatever comes to mind. On our right is a building materials market, selling things like bathroom fixtures, tiles, and lightings. Across the road on the left, that high-rise residential area is called Qingshan Duke Kingdom. Why bring up this community? Because I really loathe it. Why loathe it? Because of its name. Yes, exactly. Qingshan Duke Kingdom. The boss's name is Qingshan. The real estate company is called Qingshan. And this community is also called the Qingshan. That's no problem, right? The loathing lies in this Duke Kingdom, which he translated as Duke Kingdom. Is that how you call a Duke City? I immediately felt such loathing. He wanted to show off. Of course, for most people, he can bluff his way through. After all, he even bluffed himself. But anyone with even a bit of culture should know what Duke Kingdom actually implies. Well, it is famous now. People all over the world know about it. Everyone across the globe now knows that Baoding has a strange residential community called Qingshan Duke Kingdom, and nobody knows what it is supposed to mean. Does this count as me advertising for him? Should he send me some money? He probably won't send me money. He will only send me a beating. All right, everyone, remember this place. There is a huge joke here, right? Remember, this is Fuxing Road. All right, let's look at the distance ahead. A cluster of high-rises has appeared, right? Those can be considered the first batch of tall buildings that rose in the northern New District. They were built roughly over the past 10 to 20 years. I lived in this area with my dogs for a long time. My dog walking footprints are everywhere, so I really love it here. We are about to go down into the Fuxing Road underpass bridge. Remember, this is called a 地道桥 in Chinese. I have told you all about this before, right? Underpass bridge, 地道桥. As for this path, I am cycling. Originally, it was entirely for non-motor vehicles. Later, there were too many motor vehicles, so a lane has carved out for them. You can see the signs. This lane is now used for motor vehicles to turn left and right. Every time I pass through the 地道桥, there is always a kind of inexplicable anticipation. That is, I look forward to seeing a train, and I look forward even more to passing right under the bridge exactly when a train is going by. In other words, I just missed a train. Riding on this road in winter is quite alright, but in summer, it would bake me to death. I really cannot imagine how we survived walking the dogs in that scorching sun back then. In summer, the sun is directly overhead. These high-rises do not provide any shade. Those trees planted along this road do not serve any purpose at all. This side is not suitable for pedestrians. This residential community on the right, the one with a bit of a green feel, is called Jingnan Yipin. Jing means Beijing, Nan means south, Yi means the first, Pin means level or class. Yipin means the first class. Jingnan, south of Beijing, Jingnan Yipin, the first class south of Beijing, which implies good quality. As for the actual quality, naturally, do not expect too much. It is good enough. What is this residential community across the road on the left called? It's called Kanglong Junjing. How on earth do you translate that? I have no idea how to translate it anymore. Actually, nobody cares how is translated. Anyway, it's just meant to make people feel it's incredibly impressive. It doesn't necessarily have to mean anything. Then on the right, that horizontal structure of Jingnan Yipin, how should I describe it? Like a spaceship. That flat, level building with a wall of windows, right in the center of the high-rises, is its so-called real main gate. It is for pedestrians only. They built this first, before the buildings went up, to serve as the sales office. It looks grand, supposedly to show off their strength and make the apartments easier to sell. The roadside pavements are forever packed with cars. Jingnan Yipin does have an underground garage, but even that is not enough. This is a community built in the last 10 years or so, yet it still cannot accommodate so many cars. Right, it's New Year. Everyone is at home celebrating the New Year. Let's talk about that red residential community on the right ahead first. That one is called Xinhe Huayuan, Xinhe Garden. When it first opened, it was called Xinhe Olympia Huayuan, Xinhe Olympia Garden, because it was catching the wave of the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Maybe they thought it would be completed before the Olympics something. Naturally, that was impossible. Later, they dropped those words Olympia. Now it's just called Xinhe Huayuan, Xinhe Garden. It doesn't have much practical meaning. Xin, in Chinese, consists of 3 Jin, Jin means gold, characters, representing wealth. He, in Chinese, represents harmony and auspiciousness, which counts as a meaning of peace. If one must explain Xinhe, it means wealth plus peace. I lived here for a year. Something incredibly absurd happened that really disgusted me. I was renting, and I had paid the landlord a year's worth of rent. I paid the property management fees myself. What happened? I rented a unit on the first floor. I would just enter the hallway and open my door without using the stairs. Then the property management company told me I still had to pay elevator fees along with the management fees. I said, I don't use the elevator. So why pay elevator fees? Guess how they replied. They said, since you live here, you are bound to visit neighbors, aren't you? To visit neighbors, you have to take the elevator, don't you? And to take the elevator, you have to pay, don't you? What the actual If you encountered a situation like this, what would you do? This is something I personally encountered. Similar things are actually quite common. It's just that I thought of this one, so I told you all about it first. I really don't know what kind of logic this is, how it's supported, or how it even stands. Is this really how society is supposed to operate? If you have experienced similar things or have any thoughts on what happened to me, feel free to leave a comment. Chatting about this has made me upset. So that's all for today. See you next time, and I'll tell you more stories then.